Hey there, good afternoon. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. So we're here today with the final episode of my 5 favorite albums featuring Neil Young. And we're in the last episode and it's Friday, so we're going to have a fun day. I think this one is easily my favorite of the albums, although I do like some of the other ones quite a bit, but this one has a special place, not just for me, I suspect for everybody. This is Harvest from Neil Young. This was released February the 15th, 1972. My best friend's sister was born on that day, and she would have been having her first birthday then. The personnel on the album, we've got Neil Young, Teddy Irwin, John Harris, James McMahon, I think it's McMahon, and a couple of other people doing various things. Also, you have the Stray Gators, which is a band that often, well, it wasn't often, but Neil liked to bring in other bands to play some of the stuff as well. The Stray Gators were a band, Ben Keith, Jack Nietzsche, and Kenny Buttrey. And Tim Drummond, that was the Stray Gators on this band as well. So I've had this, this particular CD I've had for about 30 years, but I had the album before when I lived at home. And I had the cassette when I didn't live at home. I got it again. This has always been an album, a masterpiece for me in my collection. Always been an album I've loved. I remember listening to this when I got my second apartment. I had my 2 cats and I would be listening to this all the time. So this goes back for me probably to about the mid-80s, mid to late 80s anyways. The album itself, of course, has been around for a lot longer than that, but it's an absolute masterpiece. It's almost a near perfect album. I say that because I don't have a lot of albums I think are near perfect. There may be only 5 or 6 in history. Albums that there's nothing that I can find on here that I would change, really. Out on the Weekend, nice opening track. Neil's voice is at its best here, sounding very Neil Youngish. So you either don't like his voice or you love his voice. I tend to be of the latter two. I love his voice. I love all the stuff that he sings. And he's on mark here with everything. Then you've got Harvest, one of the bigger hits on here. A Man Needs a Maid. What male living on his own doesn't love this song? Heart of Gold, of course, another big hit for him off of this album. Are You Ready for the Country? Killer. Love it. Old Man, maybe the best vocal song that he's ever done. Another big hit for him as well. It's a song I love to sing it all the time. It never wears out for me. In fact, the whole album never really wears out for me, but this song in particular. There's a World We're Living In, another fantastic one. And then, of course, you've got probably the song that I've picked for my favorite song off of the album, which is The Needle and the Damage Done. A lot of heartfelt feeling when he's talking about this particular track. I hear the needle and the damage done, the little part of it in everyone, but every junkie's like the setting sun. Just so smooth. And then it finishes off with words between the lines of age. And this is where maybe it's not quite perfect. I like this song, but I think it's a little weaker than the other tracks on the album. And therefore, that's why I say near perfect. Near perfect. Neil Young, Harvest, released back in 1972. Fantastic album. The reason I chose this album as my number one, it's quite obviously the best Neil Young album, I think. There are some of his early stuff is quite good. You know, his second album has Cinnamon Girl on it, a really strong album. actually considered it for this thing, but I'm not as familiar with it as I am with these other albums, and that's part of the reason why it didn't really get the notoriety. It's the same with these Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young album, Deja Vu, which I think probably would make this if I owned the album and had been listening to it more, but I didn't, so it wasn't brought in. Power Glory, I think it's the name of the album. Can't remember. Glory Rags, maybe that's it. Anyway, another great album, and that was one of the reasons I didn't choose that. It's because, yeah, you can only choose 5, and I just think that the 5 I got were the ones that I wanted to do. Yeah, so this album was so good. He did the Harvest Moon 2 decades later, and I think that's a pretty good album. I don't think it's in the same league as this one, but that's another album that could have done here too. The Needle and the Damage Done was my choice over Old Man. I thought about choosing Old Man, but if I could only keep one of the tracks to play, and that was the only song I could listen to, I would prefer this one over that one, even though that one is vocally just as good. Yeah, so overall, this is a great album. So unfortunately, now it's like 56 years ago since he put this album out. This has got to be his what do they call that? Magnus opus. There's a nice shot of them here on the back as well. Just playing. Yep. So this album has been through most of my adult lifehood. I played it quite consistently. There's never been a time where I haven't played it. I don't play it as much as I used to, but not because of the album itself, but because I have so much more to listen to than I used to. But definitely one of the great albums of all time. And so I'm going to end off by saying thank you for joining me in this mini-series. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for other mini-series, I'll listen to you as well. I have another one that I'm going to do after this one. It'll be in a couple weeks. It's going to be kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit more involved, featuring Peter Gabriel. And we will see you all for that series. So have yourself a good evening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you then. Take care. Have yourself a good evening. Goodbye.